everyone, it's Jess here from the Scrappy Sisters, and thank you for joining me for this process video. I am creating for the second mood board challenge that was over on the Kidaholics Kits spring/September online crop. I'm using a bit of a mixture of collections actually. It's mostly Paige Evans Bloom Street, but there are a few papers that are from Little by Little Chimel, and some of the ephemera I'm playing with right now is Amy Tangerine, but I don't end up using it. I end up using the Bloom Street collection. So there's quite a few little bits and pieces. There's also Lucky Us stickers in here as well that you can probably see, but I don't really use any of those either. I do use one or two maybe. So I do end up keeping that Ha 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 Amy Tangerine ephemera. I just kind of like it because, you know, it's a girls' night and we're laughing and having a silly old time. I'm sorting out the Bloom Street florals as well because I know I'm definitely going to use those somewhere on the page, but I'm just not sure where. And I'm looking for a Bloom Street cut-apart sheet or cut-apart card that can cover the gap in the centre because I definitely want something in the center. My photo wasn't big enough to fill an entire triangle, so I need something in there. But I don't like what I have there now, so I'm just looking for something from Bloom Street that's going to work. And I end up going with the Life is Beautiful card. It's a nice rectangle, long skinny rectangle, so it's the right shape. And I like the thought, the wording that's part of that, the Life is Beautiful. That's kind of what's going on with me and my girlfriends. And that's what I'm going to document. So even though the party and the best is correct for the occasion, I just felt that this Life is Beautiful was a better fit for what I was working on. So it's going to go there and it's going to go flush up to my girlfriend's face, which I know looks bizarre, but I really wanted the photo to be larger in size, but it just wouldn't fit, it wouldn't work. So I'm just going to have to roll with it the way it is. And so in which case, I don't want to end up with the last little piece of pie having like a weird white triangle on the end. So I'm going to put that piece of ephemera flush and pretend I've just stuck it on top of the photo. So the ephemera is going to go, so that card is going to go there. And then I don't love that super large light pink piece of the pie that I'm playing with now. I don't love the little bits of circle color you can see popping out. I was kind of hoping that when I cut the curve of the pie, that curve would follow the circle line and it looked like there was a border, but it didn't work. The pie was too big and it didn't work that way. So now I want to cover those. I'm going to put some floral pieces in there. I hope that makes sense. I'm not really sure I'm explaining it well. But you can see where I've put the floral on that light pink piece of pie. And I want those there because I want them to cover up that part of the pattern paper because I don't like it. And now I need to tie some more florals in other places around the page. So I thought another floral above that tag would be a nice idea. But the blue was all too much the same color. Blue. I don't love that title of the friends, so I'm going to move it up above so it's closer to our faces and closer to us because that's what we are and that's who we are. I took the Ha 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 away because I thought it didn't really fit, but I actually ended up putting it back because I quite like it and it kind of sums up what the nights are like for me and my girlfriends. We just laugh and carry on and have a wonderful time. So I'm going to start sticking down things that I like. And I know I want to keep. So popping all these on. Any of you that are wondering how I made that big circle pie, I, to be honest, didn't think too much about it. I started with I had some 4x4 paper pad pieces that I'd cut diagonally in half. So I started with those. That's the stripy yellow and the love heart red pink color that's the word friends is about to stick on top of, and there's a blue as well that's down underneath. I started with those three colors and just curved them off. I really just freehand cut them all the same. So they were the same height and size and length and all of that. And then that really skinny sort of teal blue one with the circles, that was a scrap, so I just cut it off. And so is the one with the cameras, that was a scrap, so I just curved those, and they were a bit shorter, but I was like, that's okay, that kind of looks cool to have different lengths and sizes. And then the 3 pieces of Bloom Street, the purpley coloured one and the other darker pink coloured one, I cut specifically to fill the gaps, and I measured the size of the pie I needed from those based on the gaps that were left when I filled in the photograph and the other pieces that I had from the Little by Little Chamel collection. I hope that makes sense. I know it really doesn't make sense, but what I'm essentially trying to tell you is there was no plan to how to make the pie. I didn't draw it out. I didn't trace anything. I just guessed and cut it out and hoped for the best. It's only paper. If it didn't work or if a piece was wrong, I tossed it and went again. So I actually did manage to do it without needing to toss, but that's not the point. If I had have messed it up, I just would have tossed it. I find the Lucky Us stickers, I'm changing the subject now, are a little bit tricky to use. They're very lovey-dovey. They're very Valentine-y, and I don't really make those kind of layouts about my husband and I. I could, but I don't. So this one here said something like, I was really lucky when I found you. And I thought it worked well for me and my friends. We kind of got thrown together. We were actually work colleagues first, and we've really stuck together with like glue, all of us. So that sentiment is definitely how I feel about these girlfriends. So I decided I'm going to use that sticker because it's so corny and it's not really the way I would talk about my husband very much. So I wanted to try and use some of these stickers on alternate type of layouts. And then I was just about finished actually. So I do go ahead and put some splatters on because that's totally me, and I always put splatters on everything. And then I thought I was done, but I actually let it sit, and the next morning when I had a look at it, I felt like this layout was a bit flat. It was a little bit missing something. So I actually went ahead and stitched some of the pieces of pie. So in the close-up photographs, you are going to see that some of those pieces of pie have been stitched, and I did stitch those after I'd completed the entire layout, purely because I thought it was missing something. Wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend stitching before you do all of this while there's no ephemera on the page, but we do what we do. And yeah, I think it looks a lot nicer with that added stitching to it. It just gives it a little bit of texture and a little bit of something else to help sort of make it pop off the page just a little. So I was really happy with that addition. And I was actually happy with how, well, I don't want to say easy because it wasn't easy, but how much easier it was to stitch than I thought it was going to be. So here are the close-up photographs. I hope you have enjoyed watching this process of me participating in this challenge, and I hope I inspired you to get scrappy and to maybe even dig out some of your scraps to create a little pie layout as well. Thanks so much, everyone. Have a lovely day.